It's the All-American Prepper coming at you from the bunker. I'm going to do a little review and a suggestion, if you're a survivalist, on a little bit of gear I got here. But first I want to start off, and I'm not going to say the names, but thank you to the 2 subscribers that saw where I was looking for work and put me on security. I appreciate that. Now that that's been said, y'all better get y'all's asses ready. I'm telling you, it's going to get bad real quick. Okay, if I was to not already have an awesome knife, see, I was starting out with nothing. This right here, which I always tell you, get Bone Tactical or get K-Bar or Cold Steel, those are good. But for the money, if you were just starting out and you needed in a hurry at a really good price for what you get, I recommend this. As if you're never prepped, if you know, this is a great starter survival tool. It's multitaskable. You know, you got serrated on here, get sharp on here. It is full tang, which that means a lot in a metal knife. You want the metal, it goes all the way up. If you got one that the metal stops here, it may be a good knife and it may have been built right, but a lot of times the fixed blade, where it's not all metal goes through, you'll have a problem with that. And the last thing you want to happen is your knife to break in the middle of combat. And this one will not. But this is the Milwaukee brand, and for a fixed blade carry, say like if I was somewhere and grill went down, if I could get my ass into Home Depot real quick, not say I got caught with nothing, which that's not going to happen, but anyway, I'd grab me one of these. It's a good fighting knife. It's got a guard, a little guard. It's not made for fighting, but you can fight with any knife. But it's got a little finger guard. That's important, because my knife fighting, when I train people, I train them, go for the hands. You know, when someone lunges in with their blade, if you cut the shit out of their hands, that's going to be a problem for them retaining their weapon. But this will help, because when I catch somebody in a knife fight and they got their thumb holding that knife like that, if they lunge in on me, that's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to cut that thumb right off. They come in on me like that right there, I'm going to check, because that's going to be the closest piece of flesh to me. So it's like being an opportunist, you know, kind of like a snake. That thumb sitting right there and they lunge in, I'm going to come with my knife and I'm going to take the thumb, and they're out of the fight. And same brand, and you know, for the money, that's a good quality folder. Okay, so I would go with this for my regular survival and, you know, cutting stuff. This would be the one I'd use to take the thumb off with. You know, they come in on me and I'm gonna mess around with these live knives. I always get cut. They come in with that thumb. See how this got a thumb guard? That's awesome. But they come with that thumb right there. I'm gonna take that thumb. And this one's good for that, by the way. And in reality, you know, in a knife fight, if you know you're going to get cut, because if you're in a knife fight, you're going to get cut. Don't be delusional. Don't think you're freaking Rambo. You're going to get cut. It's hard not to get cut in a knife fight. If both people got a knife fight, even when you win that fight, your ass still going to be cut probably. It's just the nature of the beast. But if you got to take the cut, if you have to take the cut, because you don't want, but if you have to, because it's better to take the cut than get cut. You can get all cut up here, and I mean literally all the way to the bone, and you're good. You're not gonna bleed to death, you know, if you're a normal person, you know, blood thinners, whatever. And after the fight, you can tourniquet that arm off and put some QuikClot in there until you get a chance to sew it up. But that's cosmetic. It'd be nice to have some Jace Medical, you know, that way you can take some antibiotics to keep from it getting infected. And as Little Miss Prepper, she brought up, you know, a fact about me. She's like, you got all these tourniquets and this and that, but you never had no band-aids. You never have nothing to take care of little wounds. Well, you know, me as a guy, you know, I'm like, oh, it's just a little cut, it'll be all right, you know, and but she is right. That is a valid point. You do need not just tourniquets. You need a tourniquet. If you don't have a tourniquet, I will get a tourniquet before I got a knife. You can get in a car wreck, and that tourniquet will save your life or somebody with you. But anyway, this blade right here, how if it was a deadly lethal fight, I mean, absolutely do not do what I'm showing you unless it's life or death, because this is death. Okay, let me fix my phone. Anyway, right here in your leg, you got this artery that's that big around. It's literally the biggest artery in your body. And with this knife, and you hook behind somebody's thigh, and you rake it with bad intentions across there, you're going to cut that artery, and they are going to be dead in 3 minutes. I'm telling you, so you don't cut nobody there unless it's like, you know, I got to kill this, I got to end this person. You know, but that, like I said, across that thigh, you just drop down low and reach behind that thigh, and with bad intentions, you pull that blade across there. So what if they're dinging you in your head or whatever? So what if they got another knife, and as you're coming across here, you got to take a cut. You want to take it here, not here. Now, getting cut in here, now that's a big deal. Okay, you get cut in here good and deep, you got problems. You got a lot of arteries going through there, you're gonna be bleeding. That's why you carry a tourniquet. But out here, yeah, you're gonna bleed, but it ain't the same. Like I said, this is cosmetic. You just sew it out. It ain't, you're not going to die. No matter how bad you get cut here, you're not going to die. Okay? Especially if you got a tourniquet. If you're like, damn, it just won't stop bleeding, tourniquet it off. But if you're a normal person, and you'll be fine. You know, used to. Because, you know, I don't hear. Yes, I do have PTSD. I don't, you know. So, I used to get aggravated and I'd cut the hell out of my arm right here, You know, I was one of those guys, I was one of those, self-cutters. And the reason why I did that, I didn't do it to be crazy or anything like that. The reason people do that, because I'm saying from one of those people, you probably heard of other people that cut themselves. But some of them mess up and they're screwing around and they just want to cut themselves. But they'll cut inside of their arm and next thing you know, they done did something bad, instead of just trying to relieve stress. That's what I did it for. And I'd cut myself just to see that blood and all. And like I just did, I told you, screwing around with this damn. Anytime you're screwing around with a live blade, you're going to get cut. That's why you never train with a live blade. Let me put this damn thing up where I can hurt myself. But you cut that artery, they got 3 minutes and they're dead. And that artery is hard to defend. Most people, they don't expect that. They expect getting stabbed all over. They don't expect you reaching between their legs and cutting that artery. So that's the easiest target, lethal target, in my opinion. Of course, 3 inches below the left ear. There is other arteries, you need to study human anatomy. But that's the main one. 3 minutes, it's over. And this is a good blade to do it with. And they sell other, they got a lot of different. I ain't working for this company or nothing like that. I'm just saying, on the fly, you want a folder for your pocket. And you want a fixed bladed. That's good. And also, hunting season's coming up, and cutting them shooting trails. And in a survival situation. Now, I got these two. But I will tell you, if I had to choose between these two, I'd get this one. This is a good one, got a lifetime guarantee and all that. It's a good one. But this one right here, that's the one you want. For a good little cutting knife. I seen, where, not picking on him, but Canadian Prepper, he sells some silky saws, and they're good. You want to go all out badass, go to his channel, and he's got some badass silky saws, and they're good. They even make one called a katana or something badass name, but they're good. But me, personally, this would be the one I'd use. Just recommendations, you need to get. I'd use this. If somebody was to give me one of them silky saws, hell yeah, I'll use it. Just like this right here, This is the best. This gonna last you, and it's sharp. Every time I screw around with this, I catch myself somewhere. Alright, I just want to do a little blade talk, a little knife fighting, talk, and thank those 2 subscribers. Thank you that had me do those bodyguard jobs. I appreciate that. And now you see, I'm a real pro. So yeah, that's why I ain't been here on YouTube in a little while. I've been doing these little security jobs, and I appreciate that. A little blade talk this morning. How to eliminate your enemy real quick. You need to be training. Don't just be watching these videos. Actually get you. Actually, the sheath really is the best thing to train with, as far as on the fly. When you train a knife fighting, well, just take the sheath off your knife. And, get a buddy and spar. You really need to do that. That's where a lot of people don't just go, I'm badass. Just because you got a $300 knife. And I know a lot of guys that's got $300 knives and they won't take one single class. So I know. And what it is, because they're afraid to show their lack of experience, really is what I think. And there's no shame in that, man. You got to start somewhere. So you guys just jump into class. I don't care if you got $300 knife and you think you freaking Rambo. Let me teach you how to knife fight. I am an edge weapon specialist. I have been trained by professionals. There is a difference between fighting a regular just fighter and a trained professional fighter. That's why if you're going to do bounce and security work, you really need to train in MMA. Even if you've never done it, if you end up doing a security job, you need to be your ass down there at the gym training MMA, because you need to have some experience. Champions MMA all the way, baby. All right. Well, I just want to get on here and go, oh, and another subscriber sent me this. Ain't that cool? I like that. That's cool. But, yeah, I appreciate you guys, man. Really. I'm feeling good today. You know, my damn back hurts because I did earn my money, you know, on one of them security jobs. I appreciate that. Y'all really need to be prepping. You know, when you get stuff like this, you know, if you're starting out, and this really is good. You know, you got a $300 knife and you need to cut something. Hell, I'd use this before I went to cutting on something with my K-bar. You know, so there's that too. You know, your fighting knife. You don't want to never cut nothing with that, except for in a self-defense, because you always want it razor sharp, ready to go. Now, it would do you good if you actually clean an animal with it, because you get the feel of cutting that flesh. It's the only time I recommend using your fighting knife is cleaning animals, but as soon as you're done, put a good sharpen it back, because one time I seen these two butchers getting a knife fight. True story. Because, you know, as that was part of my training, I had to butcher meat. Yeah, you know, to literally see what it's like to cut flesh, because it's really like, it's the same, meat's meat. So, anyway, I was working, doing the butchering. That's my sensei, you know, standing there. Next thing you know, these two regular butchers, they did it for a living and all. I don't know if us being there, I don't know what caused it really. Next thing you know, those jokers, and they wear protective stuff, you know, to help from keeping them cutting themselves and getting cut. But they got at it. Real knife fight. I couldn't believe it, man. I wonder if my sensei edged that shit on just so we can see a real knife fight, because he will throw somebody else under the bus just so he'll throw your ass under the bus just so, if you've never been punched in the face, he's gonna show you what it's like to get punched in the face. You need to know that. But anyway, those dudes were over there knife fighting. Two butchers that, so a butcher knows how to cut that meat. And one of them got his ass all cut up. I'm talking about, boy. The other guy, he would have been all cut up, except for he had, you know, the safety clothing he was wearing helped a lot. But still, it ain't gonna, didn't stop his knife from the other guy's clothes. Do you know what the difference was? Because both of them would have been in bad shape, but one of them ended up in bad shape. The reason why, because he was marked up, the other butcher, the one that won the knife fight. Thank God nobody died, but he cut the shit out of him, and that was the end of it, you know. It was like whoever lands a good cut. He cut the hell out of him with that knife. But the other guy would have been all cut up. We checked him out, you know, and there were marks where the guy hit him with the blade, but the difference was his knife was dull. Yeah, it was sharp enough to cut meat and all that, but because his knife wasn't like razor sharp, and the Victor, his knife was razor sharp, that had a lot to do with the outcome of that fight. And that, my sensei says, so I want you to understand, look, see the difference between a very sharp edge and one that's not razor sharp. That's why you don't use your fighting knife to be cutting cord and shit, unless it's a survival situation, because you want it razor sharp at all times. But because that knife was razor sharp, that's why that butcher won that fight. They weren't trained knife fighters, but shit, they butchered meat for a living. So then, you know, you don't piss off a butcher if he's got a knife. Just trust me. All right, so yeah, I wanted to show you through this stuff, ramble a little bit, because I never write shit down, and I'm just, you know, feeling good and frisky because I had a good weekend of working security, you know, and it was just bodyguard work, so it was great. Didn't have to deal with no bullshit. I had to slam one idiot. That's why my back's a little jacked. But with that, I appreciate y'all. All American Prepper is for hire for security work, by the way. I'm going to try to do it live tonight when Little Miss Prepper gets home. Stay strapped, stay ready, stay dangerous. Have a blessed day.